Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ron Couming from RCS Technology Solutions, as well as RCS Online Solutions. Today, you've joined this workshop, this webinar, and we're going to talk about three things that should significantly enhance your 2017 marketing. Some of these things you may have heard of, some of them you may have tried, and they may or may not have been as effective as they could have been, but trust me, if they're done correctly and effectively, and if you can't do it yourself, you got to delegate it. But if they're done effectively, your marketing will skyrocket. There's just no two ways about it. These are proven methods. It's not my opinion. It's fact. So we're going to talk about three things today. And I'm going to have several different webinars and workshops going forward because there are many different things when done appropriately and correctly can really explode your marketing and your marketing results. And it doesn't matter where you are. If you're just starting in business, if you're already in business and you want to get to the next level, if you're making $1 million and you want to get to 3 million, all these different tactics will work in pretty as they are, but some of the content for whatever the industry is that you're in might be different, but the fundamental basics behind it are pretty much the same. So we're going to talk about three things today, as I mentioned. The first is going to be funnels, marketing funnels. The second will be search engine optimization. And the third will be Facebook Live and other live platforms, whether it's Periscope or YouTube. And I'm not going to do PowerPoints or YouTube explanations here, but when you do these YouTube videos correctly, and I will do that going forward, where I will actually log into my YouTube and I will show you the correct way to set it all up. So that's all coming in future workshops. It's just so much you can do in a half hour. So I want to kind of lay the groundwork, give you some ideas, and you can start to grow from there. So again, my name is Ron Couming. I'm from RCS Technology Solutions. I've been in RCS Online Solutions. I have a radio show. I've written a couple of books. I've been in the business for well over a decade. And that's enough about me. I can't tell you how many webinars I've been on, and they've talked for 45 minutes before they actually got to the meat of the stuff, and I'm dumbfounded how people stay. So first thing we're going to talk about is sales funnels. You came to this webinar as a result of a marketing funnel or a sales funnel. This is no sales. This is totally free. So this is a marketing funnel. What it does is picture yourself that if you were an employer and you sent out that you needed an employee or a couple of employees, and you sent out the word, and then you got back hundreds of resumes and inquiries. That's the equivalent of what a sales funnel is on a very generic sense. The first part of it is getting the word out there, making that content. But what I want you to think about is that first part, that first connection with your audience should have something to do with what's called the thought zone. And it's what they're thinking about. Connect with your audience. And by that, I mean, if you're a painter and you're trying to get clients for your painting business, you might put as your first part of the funnel would be something like 3 tips to know before you hire a painter. If you're an accountant, 5 things you need to know before you hire an accountant. How many times have you downloaded a ebook or some big long series and never read it, or read the half of it? And there's always one person in every crowd that's actually read the ebook through and through, but very few do. And if that person did, they probably downloaded 20 or 30 over the last 5 years and probably didn't download them all. So I suggest to increase your conversion rate and to increase the interest and to increase your credibility with your clients, do tips. And keep the tips to 1 page. You want 1 page, because if they have to turn the page or start to scroll down, now they're thinking about lunch, they're thinking about dinner, and they're not focused on you. So you don't want to have some long, drawn-out process. And also, how you write it should be so somebody who is not in your industry but is interested in that service or product can understand it. Because if you're talking in industry-specific jargon, they don't know that stuff. You're going to lose them as clients, or they're going to lose their interest, or they're going to feel inferior. This is all about engagement. So I'm not telling you to dumb it down, but I'm telling you to dumb it down. But to keep it in conversational tones. Don't be too technical with people, okay? So get your 3 to 5 pages. And like, we'll use this sales funnel that you saw for this one here. 5x your marketing returns or something similar to that in 2017 with this webinar. So that got people, that was their interest. They want to make more money in 2017. That was in their thought zone. So then they click and they get to another page called a squeeze page, a landing page. There's many different names for it, an opt-in page. But what it really comes down to is that's how you get their first name, last name, phone number if possible, and their email address. And then they click submit. Now you have their contact information, and that's very important because now you start that nurturing process. And going forward, you want the ability to drip campaign them. So after they have gotten your product, you would automatically have set up, remember, systems win. People fail, systems win, okay? So when you set up this marketing funnel, you have it set up so they see the first page, the AMD, the attraction marketing device, which is based upon their thought zone, okay? The attraction marketing device is what attracted them to now interact with you. And you created that using their thought zone, whatever it was that your ideal client is thinking about, their problem that they need solved, okay? So now we have that. So now they click on that. Now they get to the opt-in page. When they get to that opt-in page, now they put in their contact information. Now then they click submit. Now they get the product or the service, the 5 tips, whatever it is that you were going to send them, an ebook or whatever it is that you're going to send them. Now they get that. Maybe a day or 2 later, you already have this set up. So it's already part of the funnel. It's not something you manually do. You did it one time and it's just set it and forget it, all right? So now, like 2 days later, an automatic email will go out to that person and say, hey, notice you downloaded it, and how did you like it? Do you have any questions or answers? One other thing that I like to do is, I didn't do it on this webinar, but I have other sales funnel examples that I can show you where I've done it, where as soon as they hit submit their name, first name, last name, email, as soon as they hit that, they will get the product. They'll get access to it right there. They don't have to go to their email, because if they have to go to their email, guess what? You lost them. They're gone, okay? Don't check your email. And what if they put in a fake email anyhow, right? So I gave it to them right away, but right after they hit submit, now comes up a survey. Thank you so much. Here is whatever you asked for. Here is the 3 tips also, so we can serve you better, so we can provide you with more benefits and value and content in the future. Please answer these 3 quick questions. And the 3 quick questions could be something along the lines of, what are you struggling with? How many people do you have? What's your biggest problem? Or anything like that, whatever your industry is, something that is specific to them, to that thought zone, to the AMD, right? Whatever it is, what are your biggest concerns around this? What is preventing you from having the success that you desire? Some 2 or 3 questions like that. And what that does, and you can put in 10, but chances are they're not going to answer all of them. So I wouldn't do more than 2 to 4, but make them important, because now when you follow up with them later, you've already got a starting point. You already know what their pain point is because they told you. What is my biggest problem from being successful? They've already told you what that is. So now when you contact them, whether it's through a personal email or through a phone call or some other interaction, you can now cater your conversation or your email, craft it to specifically solve that problem. So the survey is great. So get the opt-in page, give them the survey, and then they also get that product, okay? A couple of days later, now they're going to get another email from you. Now, also what will happen is you should have in your sales funnel set up, and you can set this up almost automatically. Drip has it, which was just bought by Lead Pages. Infusionsoft, which is a mammoth. It's overkill for most people. Most people buy it and then have to hire some type of a consultant to run it for them. So, you know, if you got that kind of time or that kind of money, go for it. But then there's some others. I have one that I use myself that is so simple, it's ridiculous. And we can also do stuff for you as well. But so you get this set up, and so now 2 days later, but you set it up. So now one or two things is going to happen. If you do send them an email, if they don't open their email, they go into a different funnel. If they do open it, they go into a different funnel. I was on a webinar not too long ago, and I left because it was something about Facebook ads, and so I left after like 45 minutes because it was all fluff. I didn't get anything. You know, out of that 45 minutes, probably 30 minutes of it was the guy telling me how great he was and what he did for everybody else. He wasn't telling me anything that I came there for. I don't care about him. I care about what's in it for me. And that's how you need to structure your content. And when you're talking to your customers and your clients, they don't care about you. They don't care about your products. They don't care about your services. And that goes for me too. They don't care about me. What they care about is the benefits and value, that problem that you're going to solve for them. That's what they care about. So that's what you want to focus on. So you definitely want to, you know, cater your conversation to that. So now in that funnel, you have the first part, the second part, and now in the close, you have your two different campaigns. So if they read it, and you know, then you come at them one way. You come at them and say, thank you very much for reading it. What did you think? How else? Maybe give them another survey. How can we help you going forward? And then if they don't read it, we notice you didn't read it. Here it is again. Maybe you didn't get it. Here it is again. And give in that same email, in that same contact, give it to them, or give them a link that will take them somewhere else where it's hosted. And then there's other funnels from going on there. But these sales funnels, I mean, if you walk down the street and you ask somebody, a total stranger, marry me, chances are, you know what I mean, out of, you know, 10,000 people, 9,999 or more are going to say no. And if they do, you might want to run because they might be kind of crazy. So when you're in the process of trying to do business with somebody, people have to know, like, and trust you. And they really don't want to deal with a lot of salesmen. And they have to know that you can solve their problem. And that comes from building a rapport and building some type of relationship. So having these marketing campaigns helps you start to learn about that person. They get to learn about you. You're giving them free value up front. When you send them the emails, the follow-up emails, hi, how are you? What can I do for you? What is your problem? How can I help you solve that problem today? So that's how you want to structure them, and that helps you build your base. And I can go into more. I have 10, 11 minutes, but the important thing is to get it set up. And if you're not doing it, you have to do it. And if you are doing it and it's not working for you, don't think for a second it doesn't work. You're doing it wrong, or whoever you hired to do it for you is doing it wrong, and you got to try a different way, because it does work. I personally know people who are making 6-7 figures a month. Different people. I was at an event in California in November, and there's people who are making millions a month, literally. And they do these JVs, and we can get into that later. But anyhow, so sales funnels, super, super important. Okay, so that's number one. Do we have any questions about that? Let me. The chat feature should be up for everyone. If I don't have any questions, I'm going to go into step 2. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's any questions, and we can always do questions at a later date as well. So let me see if I can close that out. So the chat's good. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to talk to you about is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization, when done correctly, is phenomenal. What it does is it basically brings awareness. The biggest problem that we as business owners and entrepreneurs have, bar none, is obscurity. If people don't know about us, or don't know what we do, or the benefits and value of what they get from choosing to interact with us and do business with us opposed to somebody else, that's our biggest problem. So we need to convey that. Now, search engine optimization is really about 12 to 14 different activities that is all, kind of like collectively thrown together for whatever purpose. People give it one name. And it got kind of a bad name many years ago for a couple of reasons, but the single biggest reason is people were promising first page results. And first of all, first page results for every keyword is not necessary, but first page results is absolutely necessary because your first page is, 93% of every Google search, and we'll talk about Google, but it's virtually the same for Yahoo and Bing and DuckDuckGo. The numbers might not be exactly the same, but it's virtually the same. So 93%, give or take a 0.5%, will not go. When they do a search, they will go to that first page, and they'll have the ads, usually 3, and then they'll have 10 people who earned that spot through search engine optimization. They didn't just end up there. And then I've had a lot of clients tell me that they would not choose anybody in the top 3 because all they know that those people merely paid for those spots. They did not earn those spots. I had one client, Ron Adams, foxborough-consulting.com. He's given me permission to use him, and I give you permission to contact him to verify what I'm saying. And excuse me, he does business evaluations. So he had somebody call up from Georgia, wanted to hire him to do a job up here. And the person, Ronnie, his name is Ron too, Ronald Adams. And Ron asked him, how did you find me? And he said, a Google search. And he said, you were the first non-paid spot. And Ron says, what do you mean? He said, well, I saw the paid spots, and then I saw you. And I know that they got there because they just outbid other people. I know that you got there because you earned it over time and through reviews and work. So the quality of your placement is important too. Now, I'm not saying don't do pay-per-click or pay-per-impression. If I did say that, Google would shut me down, right? But what I am saying is when you are doing the pay stuff, it has, I think, 3 things that may not be in the best interest of everybody. Some people, it really doesn't matter. 1, it's not real. You're renting that spot. When you do organic SEO, it's real. You own it. So that's one difference. Pay-per-click, pay-per-impression, you're renting it. When you do the organic, it's you actually own it. The other thing is cost. Organic, well, it will take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months, sometimes depending on your industry. I had one person, it took us like 8 months. He's also here in Billerica, but he was in insurance, and he had done no work in forever. And he's been in insurance for 28, 30 years or so when he hired us. So it took us like 8 months, but that's, we're dealing with Liberty Mutual, MetLife, all these other behemoth insurance companies that are spending $60,000, $70,000 a month, right? And and there's a reason that they're spending that kind of money. And Coca-Cola to this day is spending $70,000 on SEO, search engine optimization related stuff. And they've been around since 1922. So anyhow, so the search engine optimization, the pay and the organic. So one is you're renting it, and one is you actually own it, you earn it. The only downside to the organic is it takes a little bit longer to get you there, but it's a third less the cost roughly, and it's for real. Now, some of the activities that you can do, and also Ron asked him, and he came up in that spot. Another example is somebody was from New Hampshire, and they owned here in Massachusetts dermatology, 6 different dermatology places, and they wanted to buy 3 more. So they actually did a Google search for a person to do business evaluations to evaluate these ones that were for sale, and they found Ron. Now, the important thing here is that, A, it worked, same scenario, right? But what's truly important here is here you have a person who already owns 6 dermatology places, doctor, multi-millionaire, doing a Google search to find a company or a service. You would think, naturally, that somebody of that level has already achieved a whole list of go-to people. I have a client 5-figure client, great guy, sign it. You know, we talked yesterday, and I got the contract a couple hours ago. That's per month, and or 5 figures total. It's 4 figures per month. But initially, he thinks that he's not going to get, or nobody who would hire them is going to do a Google search. So some of what he wants is just the online presence. Okay, but he will be happily surprised, because there are people who still do searches regardless of what you think with respect to their level in business. Not everybody has a go-to painter. Not everybody has a go-to person for business evaluations. Not everybody has a go-to person for exercise and personal or mental or emotional growth. So any of these businesses can benefit from search engine optimization. One thing I can tell you with respect to search engine optimization, and there is so much into it. You got page ranking. I mean, there's so many different aspects of it that we could go into with backlinks. Somebody told me recently, do backlinks still count? Yes, they do. What doesn't count is the spammy backlinks. So it's more important to have quality backlinks than it is to have, if you have 100 quality backlinks opposed to 3,000 spammy backlinks, those 3,000 spammy backlinks are not going to work. And I have a question right now. Somebody's asking me, how do you find keywords? Let me check the questions. To do the SEO for your industry and make them work, is there a way to determine a way to get words, or do they make them up? No. Great question. Very good question. With this, you can go to Google Keyword Tools. You can go to Webmaster Tools from Google, and there's many free things. But the most important thing is the keywords need to be on your website. I know my company, when we first get hired by somebody, we will do what's called a website analysis, and we will do a keyword analysis as well. The website analysis will tell us all the strengths and weaknesses of the website for its current on-page search engine optimization, and what we need to do to the website itself that it will benefit from the search engine optimization we do off the page, meaning outside in the world, not on the page itself. And we also do a keyword search. We do a keyword check. But those keywords, and there's many different tools. Like I said, Google has one too you can check on, and there's several others. But all those keywords have to be on your website, or your landing page, or your screen, whatever you are promoting through search engine optimization. So you take the content of your website, and then you do the search. You know, I mean, that's what you want. So if you're in an industry and you're searching and you find a keyword and you're promoting that keyword through SEO, but that keyword's not on your website, when someone's doing a search and Google's looking for the most relevant results based upon that search, you're not going to come up. A little secret, keywords, the bots, when they go out, they start from the top down of the page. So it's very important to have the keywords at the top of your page and come down. So if the more keywords you have at the top and come down, the better. Now, they don't literally have to be at the top, but they should be as close to the top as possible. What you also want to do is you want to link inside your page, because when Google, inside your website, internal linking, because when the bots go out, the little robots go out like every couple of weeks, the little algorithms, and they go out to search and they index the pages and stuff. So when other people are doing searches, it can come up quicker. So they kind of cache the pages and stuff. When they do that and they go to your page, if you have no internal linking, they go to your page, they find that keyword, then they bounce to another website. So they're off your website in 1/1000th of a second. If you have internal linking, meaning your homepage, you use the word, in my case, let's say website design, and that homepage just links to my website service page, but then it links from there. On that page, it opens up and it will talk about website development, website design, or WordPress or Magenta or something else, but these other ones will link to it. And I'll say we provide, let's say we provide website services that enhance your search engine optimization possibilities. So now that one sentence, that link will go to my website page, which will go down there, and then that sentence on the page there when it talks about the SEO will go to my SEO page. So now when that bot comes and it finds that first one, it's as it's coming down, and it doesn't matter where you put them, where the keyword is, and let's say the link is up here and the keyword's here. So wherever it is, now it's going to bounce to the other pages as well, and before it leaves. So instead of it being there 1/1000th of a second, it's there 3/1000th of a second or whatever it is. But so the longer it's on your website, the better it is for you because it's doing more indexing. So the most important thing to remember about search engine optimization is it absolutely works. Its sole function is to get people to your website. Your website needs to convey, that's the first part. There's 4 parts to the sales process, and we can get into all that later. But your website needs to convey, when they land there, they need to find, don't tell me what you do. Tell me how you're going to solve my problems. When I get to your website, what I need to see in 6 or 7 seconds that you're going to solve my problem or I'm gone. So if you tell me that we do this, that, and the other thing, I don't care. Tell me how you're going to solve my problem. All right. If you look at mine, it says, our clients attract, convert, and retain their ideal clients or something. So they know in one sentence by doing business with us what they're getting. I don't tell them that I've been doing, I just don't give them a big spiel. It's not a brochure. Your website's not a brochure. It's a problem-solving location for the customer. The client doesn't care. They care about WIFM, what's in it for me. So when you're curtailing your stuff, think about that. So search engine optimization, it absolutely works. If it doesn't work, you're not doing it right. The sole function of search engine optimization is to get people to your website, and you need to be realistic both in terms of how many people are going to get there, given your industry, and the time frame. It's not like turning on a switch. If you're doing organic, it's going to take you anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6 weeks to really start to see it take hold and take strength, because what happens is you have to do your own page first, and then it's like you have a cup, and each thing you do is another drop, and it has to fill up before it spills over. So that takes time. So be realistic for your own peace of mind, but also for your SEO guy. You know what I mean? No frantic calls. So, and also pay-per-click is you're renting the spot because you're outbidding somebody. If they outbid you, guess what? You're gone. And if you hadn't done any organic, and all you've done is pay, chances are when you get bumped, you're going bumped to page 17. No one's going to find you because you didn't do any of the earning the placement. You only bought placement, and when you get outbid, you're gone. So think about that. It's organic, in my opinion, is better. But some people will do organic, and they will do paid. They'll do the paid until their organic starts to take off, and the money they make from the paid, they then use to fund the organic. So it can work hand in hand. But long term, my opinion is that organic is better. So if there's any other questions on SEO, I'll answer them, or I will move on to Facebook Live and the benefits of doing Facebook Live. I don't see any other questions. Kelly, thank you very much for that question. It's very important. Google keyword locator, keyword searcher, just type that in, Webmaster. Google has Web Tools. I think it's changed their name to Console not too long ago. But anyhow, the next thing we're going to talk about is Facebook and Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives is very important for several reasons. Some you might not even be aware of. First of all, Facebook is a behemoth company. Facebook is there to make money. Facebook is not just like Google. When Google is providing a service, they're not there to help websites. They're there to help people searching for a product or a service. So what they're doing is they're making the environment more user-friendly, so that the more you do to increase the relevancy of the results, the better Google's going to like you. Just understand the market you're in. Google's not there for you. They're for the people who use Google. So same thing with Facebook. Facebook is a business. It started out as a couple of kids in college rooms, and they were cool guys, and everybody wanted to hang out and have parties. But they knew they had something in the beginning, and they're behemoths. So when you do a Facebook Live, it's what we call native content, meaning that the content is created and distributed on that channel. If I take a picture on my phone, or I take a video on my phone, and I upload it to YouTube, and then I put it on Facebook, it is not native to Facebook. It is a link from YouTube, correct? So if I upload it straight to Facebook, and then I publish it from Facebook, I posted it, I put it into Facebook, and then I posted it from inside Facebook. If I do a Facebook Live, it's even better because I generated it inside of Facebook. So if I do a video and I take that video and I upload it to YouTube, I put it on Facebook. Facebook is still going to show it. But if it's a native video, you're going to get 135% more. That's what I've read, and it's what I've been led to believe, and I just know it to be true. But that's my disclaimer. But you're going to get 135% more views because it's native. They're there to enhance their platform for their users. And there's a couple different ways. Now, you can actually create the video inside of YouTube during a Facebook Live or one of their other features. And then you can actually download that and then upload it to YouTube, and then also put it on your website. So you can still get your cake and eat it too. So you can still have your YouTube videos to put on your websites, to put wherever you want to put, and you can still get that extra reach on Facebook. Now, I have some videos where I have created the videos on Facebook and used them on Facebook, downloaded them, and put them up on YouTube and then on my website. But when you do that, you can then, when you load it up onto YouTube, you can then put in all your tags and all the other things that you need to do. But just remember, Facebook is going to give you much more reach. Right now, the organic reach on Facebook, I like to say is 6%, but it's really closer to 2 to 4%, and that's by Facebook's statistics. What they're doing is, if you're not paying them, they want money, right? Like anybody else. So if I put something on my Facebook feed, not all my friends are going to see it. 2 to 4% are going to see it. I like to think 6%. So if I have 100 friends, and I have, thousands, but if I had let's say I have 1,000 friends for a round number, I put something on Facebook, only 60 people are going to see it, unless somebody likes it and then shares it, and then Google's algorithm starts to pick it up, and that's when you get a term, something going viral. So that's when, it can go viral low key, and, 300 people will see it, or it can go viral and a couple of million will see it. There's different levels, but it's still considered viral. So Facebook is a great platform if you use it correctly. Understand the rules of the game. If you only want 2 to 4 people to see your video of whatever you're doing, whether it's work or personal, that's fine. If you want to pay for it, you're going to get boosts or, whatever type. They have like 14 different ways you can pay them to do something for you. You're going to get a lot more. If you don't want to pay for it, but you still want a greater audience and a greater reach, create the content inside of Facebook. And that's created, now it's native content, and they will go and they will promote it for you a lot more. And if you can't create it in there because of quality issues, or maybe it's raining out or something and you want to do a video, create it on your phone or whatever the case may be, upload it to Facebook and post it from inside Facebook. That's still native. Not as native as Facebook Live, but still native. So Facebook Live is super important. Start using it. Start posting your videos and your content, your pictures, when you're doing your sales funnels. If you're linking them from outside, try to post it inside Facebook and link it from inside Facebook, right? And you're going to get more organic reach. If you're going to pay for everything, that's okay too. But again, remember, as soon as you're done paying for it, you're gone. You're knocked off. The other thing is, if you have some friends, especially if you're in business and you all have businesses, get 3 or 4 or 5 different business owners together. And when you like something, have them, when you post something, have them like it and share it. Not just like it, but click the share and share it on their page. And then they have 5 people. So now you're going to have 5 people, and then they're going to have 2 or 3. And then, you know what I mean? So now you're going to have 100 people liking and sharing something over time. And it won't be every single post. But those algorithms will pick up, and that will give you more of an authoritative, relevant view in the algorithms and Facebook's and Google's minds, that if people are liking it and sharing it, then you have some type of credibility that gives you a higher level of authority, and it gives you a higher level of relevancy. These are things that are all free. This is a very basic. I've only had a half hour or so. I'm a couple of minutes over. But I only had a half hour to convey some information to you. I'm going to do webinars, workshops similar to this on specific subjects. You know, maybe they'll be 10 minutes or 20 minutes long. I don't want to bore people. Anybody who's on, I will send you a link. Anybody who didn't make it, they can go to YouTube, and that's fine. I'm gonna post it on Facebook. And then I'm going to share it from Facebook, and then I'm going to download it from Facebook, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube, and I'm going to do the title tag. Everything I'm telling you, I do myself, and I do for my clients. If anything I've said to you here resonates, and there's future questions, or you really need, whatever you do for business, you need to focus on. And if you have 2 or 3 things that are what produces your results in terms of getting customers and clients, whether it's getting out to networking events, whether it's picking up the phone, whatever it is that gets you in front of your ideal customers and clients so you can then make money, that's what you need to focus on. And you need to delegate the rest of this stuff. And if you think you can't afford to delegate it, if you're making $150 an hour or $100 an hour, or you sell a $5,000 coaching package, and you have an average of 5 people you speak to and 1 buys. It takes you 1 hour. It takes you 2 hours to speak to each person to explain it. There's 10 hours. But now you just made $5,000, right? If you hired somebody, but if you didn't do that, and now you're spending 20 hours a month creating content and going through all that, you've just lost 2, maybe 3 clients. That's $15,000. Would it have been better to pay somebody $500? $300, $700. Now, not only do you get the added benefits of having the production, the results from those activities, but you just freed up 20 hours of your time. And in that 20 hours, you're going to get 2 or 3 or 4 clients, right? And once you get those clients, guess what happens then? Then they tell their friends. Nothing beats a warm referral, right? So I'm telling you, if you think you can't afford it, you can't afford not to do it. You're losing tens of thousands of dollars by not delegating. Anything that's WMA, delegate it. And WAM stands for, or MWA rather, stands for minimum wage activities. Delegate it. Anyhow, my name is Ron Couming from RCS Technology Solutions. Today we talked about 3 subject matters. Marketing funnels, basically what are they, and a basic understanding of how to create them and how to run them. We talked about basic search engine optimizations, again, what search engine optimization is, the difference between organic and paid, and the difference between renting your spots on Google and owning your spots on Google. Then we talked about Facebook Live. In the Facebook Live, we discussed the difference between native content and not native, and the difference in how they treat it, how Facebook treats content that's uploaded on them. So again, my name is Ron Couming. I'm from RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions. My phone number is 978-606-5432. My email is ron, R-O-N, at rcstechnologysolutions.com. Reach out and talk to me. Anybody who's on this webinar or sees a replay, I will give you a free website analysis, and get you started on. You can take that and hire somebody else or try to figure it out yourself. There's no obligation. But thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope you have a great day.